I feel like Matthew McConaughey in The Wolf of Wall Street, in that iconic scene where he is warming up the bus. We have the same GIF on our Streamlabs. Anytime we're streaming or we're recording a video in Streamlabs and somebody subscribes, you'll see that GIF pop up on the screen. But that's the entire feeling that I think is kind of hovering around Vancouver at the moment, because yesterday, the Canucks played off against the San Jose Sharks. They won in overtime on a penalty shot. Drew O'Connor did the old JT Miller by cutting out to the left side in a very slow fashion. But the problem with this game yesterday, and we had spoken about this in the post-game video, a bunch of y'all were getting all up in the comments talking about this too, and this was all over my social media on Reddit, Facebook, and Twitter. A lot of people from yesterday's game were discussing Elias Pettersson, because he has been a ghost the past few games here. The guy has refused to go out there and put the puck on goal. He doesn't shoot. He doesn't make plays. He makes simple passes, none of them dynamic. He's slow. He's not moving his feet. He's pretty good defensively, I'm not gonna lie. Elias Pettersson has talent to get involved on the back check and when the opposition has the puck in the Canucks zone. He's fine there. But he's not being paid top 5 player in the NHL type of money to be alright in the defensive zone. This is Pettersson's game log ever since JT Miller got traded. He's gotten himself 1 point in 4 games played. And now you're even talking about it. It was discussed earlier this morning on Halford and Bruff. Does Elias Pettersson have the yips? Is that a thing here? Like, we can have another discussion entirely as to whether or not the yips are actually real or if it's just a side effect of some sort of psychological symptom, but Elias Pettersson has been a decent hockey player, just in general, but a bad hockey player for his standards and for his dollar amount. And so now, when we go over onto responsiblegambling.org and we take a look at the newest report as published by Jim Behringer, it gets me super excited as to what things could really be in store for Vancouver hockey. Now, this video, this channel, it's brought to you by ExpressVPN. Go out there and check out the first link in the description to save some money on your VPN, get some free months, and support this YouTube channel in the process. But this article is also going to be linked in the description. Report: the New York Islanders are shopping Noah Dobson, and they're considering an extension for Brock Nelson. Now, this conversation is really interesting as it pertains to the Vancouver Canucks, because both of these guys the Canucks have been reportedly linked to, and one of them is a lot more attainable than the other. In particular, Brock Nelson is a name that we had discussed linked to the Vancouver Canucks already in the season, but he's been really good. He's a little bit on the older side, so I don't know if he fits the Canucks timeline and what they're trying to build, but we did make videos already on Brock Nelson and how the Canucks are apparently targeting him. Meanwhile, Noah Dobson, the other guy that was talked about in this article, hey, he's been linked to the Canucks too. But this new article is so interesting because it dives into the reports as to what the Isles' plans are with Dobson today. Now, you can already see from the title, they're interested in re-signing Brock Nelson. Fine. Okay, that's alright. I'm not gonna go out there and complain too much about that. I mean, he's 33 years old, so even though Nelson is a guy that I think teams around the NHL would covet as a potential rental, the Islanders probably do have it in their best interests to keep him around. Meanwhile, let's go out there and talk about this. Noah Dobson on the market. After Brock Nelson, players like Scott Laughton in Philadelphia, Ryan O'Reilly in Nashville, and Jake Evans in Montreal could cost teams more than they originally thought. But that is not the only move the Isles can make. While they have other commodities like Kyle Palmieri and Jean-Gabriel Pageau, RG can independently confirm the Islanders are shopping D-man Noah Dobson. He's available for trade, and that is a piece this team is willing to part with in order to get that scoring presence they have wanted for 3 seasons, a source confirmed. Dobson is in the final year of a 3-year extension that pays him $4 million a season. He is still an RFA when his contract expires. However, as it's been reported by the Hockey News' Stefan Rosner, the Islanders have an interest in Vancouver's Elias Pettersson. So, the young defenseman could be part of a package to get him. It would not just be Dobson in the deal, a source indicated. There would have to be more money in terms of players going back to Vancouver for the 11.6 to balance out. The Canucks might have to retain on the deal too. Lou Lamoriello always believed in the Islanders, but he did not bring in Patty Watt to rebuild them. While Lou looks towards the future, he still believes the team can win now and is not afraid to make bold moves to improve his hockey club. And I gotta say this right here, baby. Patrick Allvin, there's no way in hell you are going to get Patrick Allvin retaining anything on an Elias Pettersson contract. Nope, nothing, zilch, nada. It's just gonna be 11.6 straight up. You're not retaining any of that. And if there is some sort of a Pettersson trade with salary retained, you are free to come into this video's comment section, tag me a whole bunch, tweet it to me on Twitter, send it to me in DM, say, hey, Lego, you messed up. You said that they wouldn't retain and they did. Okay, great. I'll put that offer on the table. If the Vancouver Canucks retain salary on Pettersson, then you're free to call me a clown. Heck, you're free to call me a clown even if they don't do that. It's freedom of speech after all. But there's no way Patrick Allvin is going to let an Elias Pettersson trade slide with $11.6 million getting retained in any way, even if it's $100,000. The Canucks are not doing that. But for Noah Dobson, he's been a really interesting player. We already discussed this once. I personally am in love with the idea of the Vancouver Canucks trading for Noah Dobson. He's 25 years old, Summerside PEI guy, right-handed defenseman, RFA contract expiration at the end of the season, so you will have control over him. He's due for a raise, yes, but at his peak, he is a #1 D-man who can log 25-plus minutes a night. Last year, he put up 70 points in 79 games played. This year, he's on pace for 39 points in 75, a very big decline. He had multiple seasons of near 50 or 50-plus points already, so this has been one of the better young defensemen around the NHL. This season, he has just taken a really big step back, which I think a lot of people could be concerned about, because if he ends up faltering a little bit and he doesn't live up to the 70-plus point caliber that he was at last year, then any sort of a long-term, high-expense deal could be seen as an opportunity for a team to get burnt. And that's only a very mild concern of mine, to be honest. Because if you re-sign Noah Dobson to, let's say, $85 million, you give him the Bo Horvat contract, for example. If this dude is still a 40-point defenseman every season who's playing 25 minutes a night and is good defensively, that's fine. Like, okay, maybe he's not at a #1 capacity. Maybe he's a #3. $8 million as the cap goes up to $113+ million. That's not bad. And I get it, there are reasons why the Islanders would be interested in trading Dobson away. He has declined this season. He isn't in the lineup. He is not healthy at the moment. So obviously there would be reasons for them to try to bolster up their team now and get what they could get for a guy whom they're going to have to re-sign and whom they might not want to give the bag to. But Noah Dobson had 70 points last year. And I know it's so easy to say, oh yeah, Lego, you could say the exact same thing about Pettersson. He had 89 points last year. He had 100 points 2 seasons ago. You're just doing the same thing because Noah Dobson's a D-man. Yeah, that's exactly it. Noah Dobson's a right-handed D-man, and he's better than Tyler Myers. You could even debate he's better than Hronek, even this season. Even if you include the decline, would you rather have Filip Hronek on your team today or a healthy Noah Dobson on your team today? Never mind the fact that you're going to be able to renegotiate a contract and get him under $11.6 million a year. If you allocate all the value that Elias Pettersson has and you put it on your right side defense, even with a decline, Noah Dobson, I'd say, is still a more valuable, impressive asset to have. It's not like Elias Pettersson is giving much anyway either. So if the Vancouver Canucks find themselves an opportunity to trade away Pettersson for Dobson, because that was the reported thing that was talked about here, Dobson's on the market and the Islanders were interested in Pettersson, if the Vancouver Canucks get some extra contracts in the deal that are worth a little bit of money, then they flip those to some other rebuilding team and they get some meaningless draft picks afterwards, then I honestly do think there's an avenue here for Patrick Allvin to do some crazy good work. Sure, you don't want to lose out on Miller and Petey and not replace the top end scoring on your forward core. But then again, Petey's not really producing anyway, so what gives? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about this entire idea? Article is going to be linked in the description. Dobson for Pettersson or Dobson plus for Pettersson, yay or nay? Do you think the Canucks can retain salary? I personally do not. Let me know in the comment section what you think. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.